Welcome everyone to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into something pretty fascinating, maybe even a little bit alarming. It's about that big dream in crypto passive income.
Right. The idea you could just earn crypto without constantly trading.
Exactly. Imagine waking up, checking your phone and boom, hundreds of XRP just landed in your wallet.
Every single day.
Every single day. No complicated hardware, no need to be a tech whiz, no staying glued to market charts, just effortless daily crypto. Sounds amazing, doesn't it?
It really does. Almost too amazing.
Well, that's where this platform, WinnerMining, comes into the picture. That's our focus for this deep dive. They made exactly those kinds of, frankly, outrageous claims.
Yeah, they really went big with the promises.
So we're going to unpack what WinnerMining was promising, figure out why it got so much attention, because it definitely did, and then critically look at the hard reality behind offers like that.
Especially with everything that's been happening in the crypto market lately, all the shifts and the excitement.
Precisely. Our mission here is really to give you the tools, the insight, to spot these kinds of things, these deceptive mirages, before they become a problem. Okay, ready to dive in?
Let's do it. And to really get a handle on this, we've pulled together quite a stack of sources. We're looking at reports, analyses from some big names in crypto news.
Like who?
Well, we've got Crypto.news, Finbold, A-Invest, Bitcoinist.com, Crypto Economy, Brave New Coin, Figure Lakes One, Crypto News. Quite a list.
It's a solid lineup.
Definitely. And we didn't stop there. We also looked at community forums, get the ground level view.
Right.
Reddit to crypto scams came up a lot.
Ah, yes. Always an interesting place.
Indeed. And we've also got broader analyses on cloud mining in general. What's really striking, and why this is such a good topic for a deep dive, is the contrast.
How so?
You've got these slick, super promotional claims from WinnerMining on one side, and then on the other, these really, really strong warnings. Almost desperate sometimes.
From experts in the community, you mean?
Exactly. So it creates this perfect tension, this rich ground for us to really dig in critically and hopefully help you navigate these sometimes tricky waters.
Absolutely. Okay, let's start with the appeal. Section 1. Why did WinnerMining sound so incredibly good? Because, let's be honest, on the surface, it was tempting.
Oh, absolutely. They positioned themselves cleverly. UK registered, they said.
Right, which, for a lot of people, immediately sounds a bit more legit, doesn't it? Gives it that veneer of credibility.
It does. It's a small detail, but it can make a difference in perception.
But the real hook, the thing that really grabbed people, was that core promise. XRP-focused cloud mining contracts.
Yielding, and this is the quote, at least 560 XRP a day.
560 XRP a day. Just let that sink in for a second. And the kicker.
Yeah, the magic phrase.
No hardware or technical expertise required.
Yeah.
That's the dream ticket for so many people, right? Whether you're deep into crypto or just starting out.
It bypasses all the perceived difficulty. The learning curve, the expense, the complexity.
It's like promising you can be a world-class chef without ever learning how to boil water or, run a marathon without training. It's the shortcut appeal.
That phrase is marketing genius in a way. No hardware or technical expertise. It speaks directly to that desire for ease, for accessibility, especially with finance.
Yeah, people want the results without the hassle.
Precisely. And then you see the numbers, 560 XRP a day. Or, as the sources mentioned, they had this exclusive contract tier.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. The price tag was insane.
$300,000.
Wow.
And the promise, $6,000 per day.
$6,000 a day.
Which works out to, what, over 2,000 XRP every single day at the prices then?
That's staggering.
It is. And these numbers, they're chosen to bypass your rational brain, aren't they? You immediately start thinking about the potential, the lifestyle change.
Instead of asking, hang on, is this even possible?
Exactly. It exploits that mental shortcut. The sheer scale of the promise, combined with the effortless part, makes the impossible seem almost plausible. It's a powerful psychological trick.
And it wasn't just the promise itself. WinnerMining timed this perfectly, didn't they? They popped up right when the market conditions were, ideal for this kind of offer.
Spot on. The sources are really clear on this. WinnerMining got traction because XRP was on a massive tear.
Right, it had that huge rally, climbed significantly. What was the peak mentioned? Around $3.29.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
A very noticeable surge. And it wasn't random. There were real reasons behind it.
Two big ones the sources kept highlighting.
Yep. First, Ripple's huge win against the SEC. That provided massive regulatory clarity, which the market loved.
A huge weight lifted, basically.
Definitely. And second, You had this clear renewal of institutional interest in XRP.
Hmm.
Big players were sniffing around again or making moves.
So you had this positive news, regulatory clarity, institutions getting interested, and the price was rocketing. It really was the perfect storm.
It absolutely was. It created this environment of just intense optimism around XRP.
Which makes people maybe less cautious.
Yeah, exactly. When an asset is flying high, because a genuine good news, a court case win, institutional buy-in, the whole market sentiment just lifts. It's like, everyone's feeling good, hopeful.
Guard down, optimism up.
Precisely. And that hope, that optimism about massive gains can sometimes just push aside the critical thinking, the caution you'd normally have. If you zoom out, it shows how real market excitement, genuine positive developments can actually paradoxically make investors more vulnerable to scams.
Because the scams seem to fit the optimistic narrative.
Yes, they feel like they're part of the same upward trend. It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do these big market shifts, this news about specific coins, affect your own investment thinking? Especially when these tempting high-yield things suddenly appear. That emotional pull is strong.
It really is. And then there's the underlying appeal separate from XRP specifically, just the whole idea of passive income.
Oh, that's universal. The holy grail for many.
Forget staring at charts all day. The stress of the ups and downs, the complexity of active trading. The dream is just set it and forget it. Have your money make money for you.
Earning crypto daily, not just hoping the price goes up eventually.
Exactly. It plugs into that fundamental desire for yield, for income streams. Especially, maybe, as crypto matures a bit, people looking beyond just pure speculation, buy and hold and hope.
Towards something more sustainable, maybe? Income-focused.
Yeah. It's a super attractive idea. Financial freedom without the constant effort. Who wouldn't want that?
And that's why these platforms hit home so hard. They promise to cut out all the hard parts. The trading grind, setting up complicated mining rigs. They offer this vision of easy street.
Effortless financial freedom.
Right. And that promise of just waking up, seeing new crypto in your wallet every single day, it can really overpower your sense of caution, especially if you find trading stressful or mining too technical.
It offers predictability almost in a very unpredictable market.
Exactly. A sense of security, consistent rewards. It plays right into that deep human need in what often feels like a pretty chaotic crypto world.
Okay, so we've painted the picture of why it looked so good, the shiny lure. But now, let's pull back the curtain. Section 2, the stark reality. Why these promises were, let's just say, highly suspicious from the get-go.
Right, because this is where it falls apart. Immediately. Fundamentally.
And the biggest, most glaring problem is...
XRP isn't mineable.
Period. Full stop. Let's be absolutely crystal clear here. XRP, Ripple's native coin, wasn't designed to be mined. Not like Bitcoin, not like Ethereum used to be with proof of work.
No complex math puzzles for miners to solve to create new coins.
None of that. So any platform promising XRP cloud mining,
Yeah.
It's instantly suspect. Completely.
It's like promising you can, mine for gold in a swimming pool. The fundamental mechanism isn't there.
It's just not how XRP works.
And that's such a critical point to understand. It's the #1 giant flashing red flag. Let's break down the tech difference, just simply for everyone listening.
Good idea.
Okay, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, back in the day, they use proof of work. Miners use powerful computers to solve complex problems. First one wins, adds transactions to the blockchain, gets rewarded with new coins. Think of it like a global lottery needing lots of computing power.
Right. Energy intensive, competitive.
Exactly. XRP. Totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
All 100 billion XRP were created right at the start, pre-mined.
Like a central bank printing all the money at once, then releasing it over time.
Sort of, yeah. Good analogy. It runs on a distributed ledger technology, a DLT, but it doesn't use mining to agree on transactions. It uses a consensus mechanism.
Where specific validators agree.
Right. A network of trusted validators confirm transactions. No new XRP are created through mining. It just doesn't happen.
So if someone says they're mining XRP...
they're either deeply mistaken about how it works, or, much more likely, they're deliberately lying to you, misrepresenting the technology to scam people.
That technical impossibility, that's the nail in the coffin, really.
It should be. It proves immediately something is fundamentally wrong with the whole premise.
And this isn't some one-off thing with WinnerMining, is it? The sources make it clear this whole cloud mining scam issue is... well, everywhere.
Oh, it's rampant. Deeply embedded in crypto. It's not new, sadly. It's a persistent, widespread problem. And tragically effective.
So many people have lost money this way over the years.
Put some hard data on it. Remember that investigation by Brave New Coin we mentioned, the reputable research firm?
Yeah. What did they find again?
Their conclusion was chilling. They found that almost all crypto cloud mining platforms they examined were fraudulent.
Almost all.
Almost all. Let that sink in. It's not just a few bad apples, it's the vast majority, according to their research.
That's horrifying.
It really underscores that crucial lesson in crypto, if it sounds too good to be true.
It probably is.
Especially with cloud mining, it seems. And the pattern is so predictable, so common. The community forums are full of these stories.
How does it usually go?
Platform launches, make these amazing promises, pulls in money, maybe pays out a tiny bit at first to build trust.
A classic Ponzi element.
Right. And then, one day, poof, gone. Website disappears, support emails bounce back.
And all the money invested?
Vanished. Just gone. It's the brutal final act for countless people who got sucked in.
Which brings us back to that core principle of crypto investing, maybe the core principle. Extreme caution, especially with promises of unrealistic returns.
You cannot say it enough. It's timeless advice, really.
Yeah.
A fool and his money.
Or soon parted. Yeah.
But in crypto, with the speed and the hype, it feels even more critical to remember.
Absolutely. And promises like 560 XRP a day or that mind-blowing $6,000 a day from a $300K investment. They don't just lean into too good to be true.
They dive head first.
They do a cannonball right into it. Think logically. If returns like that were genuinely possible and sustainable,
everyone would be doing it.
Exactly. Big money would flood in. The opportunity would vanish instantly due to saturation. It wouldn't be advertised on some random website. So how do they get people?
They exploit that deep desire for quick, easy wealth. Especially people maybe new to crypto or feeling they missed out before. FOMO. Fear of missing out.
Ah, FOMO. The great motivator.
It really is. They use that emotional vulnerability, that urgency, to make the impossible seem like a sure thing you need to jump on now.
Okay, let's dig a bit deeper into the context now. Section 3. Because understanding the environment WinnerMining operated in is key to seeing how people could fall for it.
Right. The timing was everything.
And that huge event was Ripple's legal win against the SEC. The sources frame this as absolutely massive, a game changer.
It really was. It essentially gave Ripple the green light for more flexible fundraising, as one source put it. Fewer legal clouds hanging over them.
Like getting approval from the main regulator. Make things much easier.
And the market reaction. Instant and massive.
That's when XRP surged, right? The sources quoted something like a 481% year-to-date increase.
Around that, yeah.
Yeah.
A direct result of that legal clarity. It was huge news.
So suddenly, this asset, XRP, which had been under this regulatory shadow, looked like it had a super bright future. The price exploded.
And that created the perfect fertile ground for schemes like WinnerMining. It gave them a seemingly legitimate hook.
Look how well XRP is doing. Get in on the action with our amazing mining contracts. Something like that.
Pretty much. The positive sentiment, the soaring price.
Yeah.
It just made people more open, more receptive to anything XRP related that promised big returns.
Even if the promise itself was technically impossible.
Unfortunately, yes. When there's that kind of euphoria, that frenzy almost, people's critical guards can drop significantly.
It's a classic setup, isn't it? Bad actors leveraging real positive market news.
Absolutely. They twist the genuine excitement to lure people in. It plays on hope, on FOMO.
And it wasn't only the legal win, there was also that growing institutional interest. That added another layer of legitimacy, didn't it?
It really did. The sources mention specific examples, which helps make it concrete, like Thumbs Up Media, NASDAQ-listed company.
What do they do?
Reportedly raised $50 million in XRP.
$50 million from a public company. That's not chump change.
Not at all. It signals real, serious institutional appetite. Strategic moves, not just retail speculation.
And how does that feed into the scam narrative?
Well, news like that creates this powerful profit narrative. It screams, look, the smart money, the big institutions, they see huge potential here.
Which is true in that context.
Right. But then platforms like WinnerMining hijack that legitimate narrative. They spin it. They imply that if institutions are making millions, then even easier, even bigger returns must be available for the little guy. Through their platform, of course.
Ah, the trickle-down riches fantasy.
Exactly. Get your piece of the institutional pie effortlessly. It's a false connection, but psychologically very effective.
It leverages that feeling of validation, doesn't it? If the big guys are in, it must be safe, right?
Precisely. And that raises a really important question for you listening. How does that kind of news, seeing big institutions move into a space, affect your own risk assessment?
Do you automatically feel safer about related investments?
Yeah, it can create this halo effect. The asset seems more legit, so maybe everything associated with it feels less risky. Scammers rely on that. They piggyback on the genuine excitement.
They don't need to be legitimate. They just need to look like they're part of the legitimate trend.
Spot on. It's a dangerous mental shortcut, relying on external validation instead of doing your own digging.
Okay, so institutions are moving in, the price is up, the regulators are clearer. But what about the actual crypto community, the people on the ground, and the expert investigators? Section 4, what were they saying?
Well, this is where you get the stark contrast. The sources point heavily towards places like Reddit, specifically crypto scams.
And the vibe there.
Damningly clear, as you put it earlier. The consensus is loud and consistent. Cloud mining, especially for something like XRP.
Which isn't mineable.
Right. It's often a scam. That's the recurring warning. They hammer home the technical impossibility for XRP, and they constantly share stories about these platforms just disappearing.
Taking the money with them.
Always. It's the collective wisdom, the shared, often painful experience talking.
That community vigilance is so important, isn't it? Like an early warning system.
It's incredibly powerful. Imagine you're new. You see an ad for WinnerMining. It looks professional.
Yeah.
But before investing, you do a quick search. You land on our crypto scams.
And you see posts like, warning, XRP mining is impossible, or lost my savings to a similar cloud mining scheme.
Exactly. That immediate peer-to-peer reality check from people who've maybe been burned, that can be invaluable. It cuts through the marketing hype.
It shows the power of decentralized info sharing, really. People looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just community chatter. The expert analyses back it up forcefully. We keep coming back to Brave New Coin.
Because their findings were so stark.
Extremely. Remember their conclusion. Almost all crypto cloud mining platforms they examined were fraudulent.
Almost all. It just bears repeating. It suggests the whole sector is compromised.
That's the practical implication. It's not isolated incidents. It's systemic. The business model itself, especially for non-mineable coins, seems fundamentally geared towards fraud.
So extreme caution isn't just recommended, it's essential.
Non-negotiable, I'd say. If you're looking at cloud mining, particularly for something like XRP, the default assumption should probably be scam until proven otherwise. And proving otherwise is difficult.
Which leads back to that predictable, depressing pattern, the life cycle of these scams.
Yeah, it's almost like a script they follow.
Slick website, professional marketing, check.
Astronomical return promises 560 XRP day, 6 cut a day check.
Lure in investors, maybe some tiny initial payouts to build false hope, check.
Collect as much money as possible, check.
And then vanish, radiantly vanish, checkmate.
Leaving behind a trail of devastation, it's a sadly common playbook.
And if you just stop and visualize the risk, the numbers they promise,
It becomes immediately absurd. Compare their projected ROI 560 XRP daily with any realistic historical yield from actual mining of any crypto.
even if XRP was mineable, which it isn't.
Right. The cost of energy, the sheer computing power, the hardware needed to generate that much value daily, it would be astronomical. The guaranteed returns are completely unsustainable, mathematically impossible.
It's just not viable.
Never. The physics and economics don't work. That unrealistic promise combined with the history of disappearing acts. It means collapse is inevitable. It's designed to fail after collecting the funds.
Okay, let's try and really connect these dots visually for people. Section 5, visualizing the craziness.
Good idea. Sometimes seeing the discrepancy makes it click.
So think about XRP's actual price chart during that rally. It's going up, excitement is real, it hits, say, $3.29. Now, overlay WinnerMining's promise onto that chart. Get 560 XRP every single day.
You can literally see them riding the hype wave.
Exactly. They use the real, legitimate excitement about the price increase to make their completely fake promise seem somehow connected, somehow plausible.
It's pure exploitation of market sentiment. They're not offering an investment. They're leveraging your emotional reaction to the bull run.
Making the impossible seem possible because, hey, look how well the coin itself is doing.
It's classic confirmation bias fuel. You want to believe the gains are easy because the market feels hot. They feed you the confirmation.
And it's the same with the institutional news, right?
Yeah.
Visualize that too. One layer is Thumbs Up Media raising $50 million in XRP. Real news. Big money.
Legit activity.
Then overlay the emergence of WinnerMining popping up around the same time. Earn easy passive income.
You see the narrative they're trying to build.
Look, institutions are in, the smart money sees profits, and we had the simple way for you to get those same kinds of amazing returns.
They twist that legitimate story of institutional adoption, of emerging profit, to justify their own ridiculous claims. It's narrative hijacking.
Malicious narrative exploitation.
Absolutely. They imply an equivalence that doesn't exist. Because institutions are making careful strategic moves, therefore our crazy high-yield, no-effort platform must also be sound.
Which again plays on that desire for validation following the smart money.
And it really makes you question, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much does that institutional halo effect sway your judgment? Do you ease up on your own due diligence when you see big names involved? It's something to be really mindful of.
Definitely. So ultimately, the final visualization is just the sheer absurdity of the returns themselves, that scam risk visualization.
Just stare at the numbers. 560 XRP a day, $6,000 a day on a $300 K investment.
Now try to compare that ROI to anything real. Real mining yields for coins that are mineable. Real investment returns.
Even wildly successful high-risk ventures rarely promise anything close to that, guaranteed, day after day. The energy costs alone would be prohibitive for real mining at that scale, let alone for a non-mineable asset.
It's just fantasy numbers.
Completely. That stark comparison, unrealistic returns versus reality, is the ultimate red flag. It screams impossible. Any legitimate investment has risk and returns that reflect reality.
These kinds of promises aren't just aggressive. They're outside the bounds of financial reality.
And that should be the immediate blaring alarm bell for anyone. If someone offers you guaranteed crypto income, especially huge daily amounts, what's your first red flag?
For me, it's guaranteed. Anything guaranteed in investing, especially crypto, makes my antenna twitch.
Mine too. Guaranteed and exorbitant daily returns. That's basically waving a giant red scam flag right in your face.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Outro time. What's the big takeaway here for everyone listening?
Well, the dream of passive crypto income, it's powerful, it's appealing, we get it. Especially when you see a coin like XRP having legitimate success.
But
extreme skepticism is your best friend. It's absolutely essential. That old saying holds truer than ever in crypto. If it sounds too good to be true.
it almost certainly is. Don't let the hype or the dream cloud that fundamental reality check.
And that's what we try to do in these deep dives, right? It's not just about presenting information. It's about understanding why things are suspicious, why it matters for your safety, and what questions you should always be asking.
Building that critical thinking muscle.
Exactly. In a world flooded with info and unfortunately misinformation, your ability to think critically, do your own research, and trust your gut when something feels off, that's your best defense.
Couldn't agree more. So here's a final thought for you to take away and chew on. In this crypto world, which is constantly changing, full of amazing innovation, but also real dangers, where do you draw that line?
Between genuine opportunity and outright exploitation.
Yeah. How do you tell the difference between a real passive income strategy, which might exist but likely looks very different, and a flat-out scam like WinnerMining? And crucially, what steps are you actually going to take to protect yourself?
And maybe reflect on this too. What really stands out to you about how easily these legitimate narratives, institutional buying, legal wins, get twisted by scammers?
It's a powerful reminder of how deception works, often hiding behind a kernel of truth or excitement.
Definitely something to keep in mind.
Okay, so if this deep dive helped sharpen your crypto senses, maybe made you think twice about an offer, or just gave you some valuable perspective,
Then we'd really appreciate it if you could help us out.
yeah, please take a second to hit that like button. Maybe drop a comment below with your own thoughts or red flags you look for. And definitely subscribe to the deep dive if you haven't already.
Your engagement, honestly, it makes a huge difference. It helps support the channel, tells the algorithms that this content is valuable.
And that lets us keep making more deep dives like this one, helping you stay informed and hopefully a bit safer in the wild world of crypto.
We really appreciate your support. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.